GGRC.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of GGRC. I'm RC, and today we're going to be doing a quick save review for Xenon Racer, or it's got to sound more futuristic than that, right? Xenon Racer, that kind of thing. I think that's what we're going for here. So this is a sort of futuristic racer, not too futuristic, you know, we're not going for like a Wipeout type of, you know, fast racing style here. It is fast, don't get me wrong, but this definitely feels futuristic in that you got these like really souped up supercars with these really cool designs, and you are drifting your ass off through these tracks, or at least trying to. So this game I like, okay? But I gotta say that I'm kind of 50-50 with it right now. 50% of it is I love the controls, I love the gameplay, and I love the overall aesthetic of the game. I think it's actually a very pretty looking game. However, the other 50% is the challenge, the difficulty of the game. It is a very, so far, at least from my experience, has been very challenging. We'll get into talking to that in just a second here. So what we have here is several different options of ways to play the game. You have the Racing Championship. Actually, if you sit here too long, they actually put you into a showroom type of point of view, which is kind of fun here. But yeah, you could race in the championship, which basically is your normal career mode. That's how you progress through the game. You have fast race, which is basically just a quick race. That's really all there is to it. Then you have split screen. And on split screen, you're splitting the screen, playing locally. There you have it. Online, self-explanatory. And then you have edge mode, which is sort of like it mixes time trial and endless mode with like open, I guess, open tracks and stuff. I haven't gotten too far into that because I've been focusing mainly, yeah, we'll say mainly on the championship stuff. But it's been difficult. Let's jump into just a regular fast race so I could kind of show you guys the game here in, you know, get on the track and show you how it all works. So basically you do have different types of cars. You have normal GT, which is this green one. This green one is actually my favorite car in the game. I think it's really cool, but you can't use your favorite car throughout all of the tracks and all the championships. You got to get used to doing using different cars, which I think might be part of the challenge for and what might be throwing me a little bit. So you see, you got your normal GT, you got your performance GT. This one, we just made it all crazy with the pink windows, which is kind of fun. If you go into the garage, you can customize all this stuff, which we'll go into in just a second after we play a race. But then you have your normal ass cars, like the GT LM01, I guess, is a cool looking car, but on the track that they sort of force you to use with it, I don't know, it seems really hard to control. You have another normal car here, which is this WPL01, which looks really, really cool, but again, another one that seems hard to control. And you can see the handling goes down a lot compared to the other cars that you may want to use. So we're just going to go with our normal GT one here, jump into a quick race so I can show this off for you guys. The unfortunate part is the only way to unlock more cars is to keep playing Championship. And sometimes Championship just doesn't, I don't know. It's tough, we'll say. Okay, so you're always going to get these sort of Sega Rally introductions where they show the track off, a guy talks about it. And this game feels a lot like Sega Rally, but with the determining factor that this game is all about drifting. If you go to the Steam forums, the dev will tell you, and you'll see several posts about it, he says, this game is all about drifting, and this game is sort of a little bit about trial and error as well. It's mostly about learning the tracks. So as you can see, this game looks great. It's got a great aesthetic. You could switch between different views, which is awesome. And here's your drifting. Woo! Pretty fun. Feels fast, feels wild. It's got a great feel to it. Love it. And this track especially is just fun to play. It feels like it was made for this game. There we go. We just grabbed a boost. Let's throw a boost on here. So yeah, with this particular track, it's like we hit the wall a little bit. You can see that on the bottom left there. That is my car damage. I'm currently at 99 for hitting the wall. With certain other cars, though, it will go down a lot quicker. See, I'm only down to 96 at this point. And my webcam is currently covering up the amount of laps we have and the map, which isn't too important because the map in this game is it's, in my opinion, a little useless. It shows you like upcoming curves and stuff like that, which is nice, which I guess is really all you need, but it doesn't really show you the whole map. Let's keep on going here. We're not doing too bad, to be quite honest. Ah, there we go. Got to make sure you brake a little bit. So the way the drifting works in this is kind of interesting. If you played other car games, normally you hold the brake button, and that's how you drift around the corner. This one, you literally, you just tap it. And by hold the brake button, I don't mean the whole time. I mean, you hold it for a few seconds until your car goes into drift mode. This one, you literally just tap brake, and your car is already drifting. It's pretty cool. Like I said, that's why I think the control in this is great at points. And you can get, like, really cool long drifts like that just feel really good. And this track, like I said, I feel like this track was made for this game. There's a reason why it's the introductory track in the game. Because it is just fun to play. You can take turns really easily. We got full boost, so we might as well use one here. And this is how I feel like the roads in this game should be. They should be really big. They should give you a lot of warning when turns are coming up, so that way you know what's going on. But as you get further into the game and you play other tracks, it doesn't turn out that way. The tracks end up getting very skinny. You're still dealing with the other cars on the road, and they will slam into you. And that can get pretty frustrating as well. As you can see here, like, I'm blowing the competition away. I know at the moment, you guys are probably like, what are you talking about, RC? Like, this looks cool. You're way out in front. You don't seem to have any problems with anything. Just wait till we get to a further map here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Because I was actually a little deceived by this game when I received a key for this, and I played through this first race. Actually, the first few races, I was like, wow, this is great. This is a great little game. I'm having a ton of fun with it. Everything feels good, looks good, drifting's fun. I was having fun. And then I got to the next level, and I was just like, what am I doing wrong? I must have played the level that I'm currently on. I must have played it probably a good 6 times, I would say, and I still have not been able to pass it. And part of the reason why is once you get into championship, oop, he didn't drift there for some reason. Once you get to championship, they start layering on the requirements. And the requirements, when they start out, I think the first race is like, oh, as long as you get within 3rd place, you're good to go. But then almost every race after that, they're like, you got to get first. And it is tough to get first. And I've been nowhere near actually getting to the point of being in the top 3rd either. I think, like, most of the 6 races that I did, I was either close to last place or in last place. So, but as you can see from this level here, this is great. I love this. This track is so fun to play. I really wish the rest of the game was like this. Big open tracks. All right, we got one more lap to go here. We are going. Woo! And the other thing, too, is that, you know, on these earlier tracks, you can see my car is down to 57 health. I'm probably going to be fine as long as I don't mess up too bad here. But the game does have a difficulty selection. And I played through most of what I did on the championship on normal, and I had no problem until this one race. And I actually swapped it down to easy to see if that would help. And I was met with the exact same luck that I had before. It didn't seem to help much at all. And I'm not much of a difficulty changer. I'll do that now and then for games if I'm having a lot of trouble, but that's not normally something I do. And it's not normally something I like to do. If I start on normal, I like to finish it on normal, so that way the experience is pretty much, you know, the same throughout. I don't mind a small difficulty spike in a game either. Man, I'm just rocking it on this track. There's like no one even... I haven't seen anybody for ages. Alright, we gotta be getting close here. Yeah, that was a nice long drift right there. Now, the developer has told everybody that this game is a drifting game, and actually posted a video that said basically, like, if you're not doing good in the game, you need to get good, and actually posted a YouTube video basically showing, like, hey, at some point, if you get good enough, you'll be able to do this kind of thing. And it was this guy having, like, a perfect, flawless run through a track that was pretty difficult. It was pretty impressive, but I was like, man, I don't know that I'm going to play a track 20 times to memorize it. Because for me, I don't mind replaying a track like 2-3 times. That doesn't really bother me, but like replaying it 6, 7, 8 times, it's just like I have a limit at one point, you know what I mean? If I don't feel like I'm getting better at the game. But there you go. There's a race right there. Pretty fun. Congratulations. There we go. That is the first race. RC up top. The guy was 16 seconds behind me. He was never catching up. All right. So there we are. And at the moment, I feel... Yeah, let's go into the garage here so I can show you guys some of the car stuff here. And you guys might notice that during the race, the volume was a bit quiet. That's because for some odd reason in the options, they give you the option to change the sound in the game. And I put it way down because I thought that would change the menu sound. But the menu sound, for some reason, is always at full blast. So no matter what I do with the cars here and everything like that, it's always going to be loud. So you see how loud that actually was and how loud it still is. If we actually head over to settings, audio. So you can see currently music is set to almost nothing. But we could turn the music and other stuff up just a little bit here, I think. Alright, let's go back to the garage. Prepare for the loudness. There we go. Alright, so if we want to randomly apply something to this car, we can just hit Y and it'll give us all kinds of crazy random setups and everything. But of course, you can go into these different things and pick, you know, different body mass, for example. You can pick that, hit back, keep hitting randomize to see what it looks like. The orange one's actually pretty fun. You get your wheels, you can get different wheels as well. So the problem with this, again, you only unlock parts when you're playing through Championship. You don't unlock them for doing anything else in the game, it would seem. Which is kind of annoying. So for this car, I don't actually have a whole lot of stuff to unlock. But you can see that some of the parts that you can change will change the way your car is. So we can change the handling to nothing, you know, and give a higher max speed, which is kind of cool. But we're actually going to hit back. We're going to confirm the changes. No, we don't want to save the changes there. But as you can see, you can do some pretty crazy stuff with the garage there. Actually, what I'd really like to do... Go back to the garage. I wanted to switch to a different car. Here we go, vehicle. So this one here, this is like a weird, interesting little car here. Let's randomize this one up a bit here and see what we get. Oh, that's pretty sleek looking. Another green one, orange one. That's pretty cool too. So I like that you could just do this randomly until you find one that you actually like and go with that. Let's go with this one because it is just like ridiculous. Now, I did actually have to go in here and adjust something to one of the cars. This car specifically, I had to go in and I had to adjust the parts so that way the attributes of the car would actually par down on some and go up on others, so that way I could finish some of the championship stuff. Let's actually go into the championship and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here. So here's our championship. They give you sort of like a little distance here. So as you can see, I made it through 4 of these. So there was a circuit. You can see we had Tokyo downtown, Boston, and Miami Seaside. Those 3 tracks I thought were great. I'm not sure why they didn't unlock in the fast race that we did earlier, because those would have been other options for us to check out, but I can't tell you. You move on to the next race. You have Boston, Port R, and Dubai Island. So you can see here it says objective, you got to get 5th. And you move on, it says objective 3rd. So then you move on to this one, you got to get objective 1st. And this one is also objective 1st. Now these two are kind of interesting because you're using the Performance GT car. And with the Performance GT car, you're not actually racing. What you're doing is you're hitting checkpoints. So you want to make sure you hit a checkpoint and it gives you like 30 more seconds You want to make sure you keep going around quickly to keep getting that 30 seconds to keep going around. So those two were actually pretty challenging. It made me go into the garage to change the car up so that way I could make it fast enough to do the things I needed it to do there. And I didn't have a problem with doing these two. However, I moved on to this one since, the Canadian track. And my God, I don't know what is going on with this track, if it's the other cars, what's going on, but I have had such a hard time with this one. And as you can see, it says you got to get first, right? And as you continue on here, no matter which way you go, you're going to see you have to get first through every single race. So to me, I thought it was really weird that everything else, the further you go, is just you got to get first, you got to get first, even all the way to the end. You got to get, I understand like the very final race, you got to get first, right? But why not throw in a few more thirds in there? Or like if someone's playing on easy, just make it so they can get within third or fifth or whatever. I don't know, it's very strange. So this one actually uses the normal cars. We actually use this one because it's the one we just edited in the garage, but you can see we do have a few other ones to pick from if we did want to use them. I think I've used every car at least once, and none of them have really did it for me to get me to the finish line here. So let's go ahead and just pick this guy here, and I'll show you how tough this track is. This track has just been a pain for me.
Welcome to the new XR Championship Trial. We are at Lake Louise.
Lake Louise. So as you can see, it's got a cool, look to it, but you can see the roads already are much thinner than the racetrack we were just on a second ago. So here we go. Let's give this a shot, shall we? Can't guarantee we're going to do good. We are still on easy mode. We'll see if that has any effect on it whatsoever. All right, we know we got a boost here. Or, not boost, we got a drift. We're drifting. So you can already tell this car has a completely different feel with the drifting than the normal GT that we were using. And I'm already slamming into dudes. I'm already at 96 health on my car. And I am stuck in position 7 out of 8 here. So right now it's telling me, hey, use your boost because you got full boost, but I have not found like a good spot to actually use the boost, because when I use the boost, I end up getting to a spot where I'm like, okay, there's a curve around every single area here. There's no real good spot to use a boost. Oh my God. This might be the furthest I've been up, actually. 4th place. But that will all change once my my car blows up and it puts me back. But 4th place is not going to do it. As we already established, you got to get first. If you want to unlock the next pieces of the championships, you got to get first. Oh my God, here's another. See, I just cannot nail the drifts or anything. And the thing that sucks is that, you know, they're forcing you to use like the type of car, the normal car. I can't use the normal GT or the performance GT, so you got to use this one for this circuit. And I'm usually cool with that in racing games. I have no problem with that. You know, like Forza Horizon series, they have all kinds of different types of races for different types of cars, and it's fun. It's a ton of fun. However, with this game here, a lot of times I can't really tell the difference between the cars. Like the cars have no real distinguishing characteristics between them, besides the fact that it just tells you it's a normal car versus a GT car. One thing I do like, though, is if you see in the bottom center there, you see that speedometer is much different than the speedometer that we had on the previous car. God, we're already down to 50. So look how bad the drifting is. This car's drifting just does not react quick enough. And I'm in 6th place, so I'm not doing great here. Use another boost here. Oh, jeez. See, slamming into that guy takes me down to 36. Now I'm in 8th place. Everyone's passing me. I got no hope. And this is what I've been dealing with this track. This track, in my opinion, kind of sucks.
Good outcome.
And it's fine. I get it. Like, it might be me. I'm probably not great at this game. Not a problem. I understand.
Danger. The vehicle is
But geez, like, I need just a little bit more forgiveness for me to really enjoy this. I mean, I'll admit I'm much more of a arcade racer when it comes down to it, and but there's so many things about this game that I want to like and that I do like, and I want to like it more. I want to be able to be like, guys, you got to play this, but unfortunately, like, because of this kind of thing, I can't really do that. And it's unfortunate because there's just like, you can tell there's like so much love and care that's been put into this game here. See, the thing that sucks with this car too is I'm braking a lot to make sure I try not to hit the walls, but if I brake too much, I'm going to fall further behind. But if I don't brake, then I'm going to hit the wall. It's just like this weird back and forth. See, now I'm getting better at not hitting the walls, but I'm so far behind now. Like, I'm nowhere near anybody. Everybody has lost me here. Alright, well, since we're so far behind, though, I'm going to crash it up so you guys can see what I've been dealing with here. So when you do lose it, you get 100% damage, and then it pops you back, and you got to start from 0 and get your speed back up, which can be kind of frustrating. Man, I cannot take these turns very well. So there you go. That is the 7th or 8th time I've done that race, and this is the race I think I'm going to end up not playing any more of this game on because I'm not having fun. So that's really where that's at. And that's on easy mode too. So it's weird because I did that one fast race with the normal GT car. You guys saw I was like way out in front. I was blasting. I was killing it on that race. What is it about this race that is doing this to me? I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like I said, maybe it's me. Let's actually jump into Miami Seaside here. We'll do a race with the Performance GT, and I can kind of show you guys the sort of like time trial thing that they got going on here. The checkpoint race, which is pretty fun.
Welcome to the new XR Championship Trial. 3.
All right, so with this particular race, the problem I was getting to is, like, you can see they start you off with about 30 seconds to get to the first checkpoint, right? So my big problem was that I was not able to make it to the first checkpoint very well. So I worked at it, I changed a few things about the performance car, and I was able to get myself where I needed to be in time. See, I don't know if I'm gonna make it here. Oh, nope. 1, 0. We just missed it. We'll give that another shot here. I'm coming in cold here, guys. Coming in cold. Let's restart that. So what was cool about this one, though, is while that first one was tough, what I like about it, though, is that it definitely, like, drove me to be like, I can do this. Like, I'm 1 second away from hitting that thing. I can do this. And I was able to eventually do it. But what is weird, though, about the design of this game is that in this game, it's almost like they have no ramp up with the difficulty. It's almost like they're like, okay, you are going to immediately be thrown to the dogs on that Canadian race. Oh, don't hit the wall. Oh, hit the wall. Oh, no. 1. Oh, we did it. Okay, we got 10. Don't hit the wall. There we go, we made it. Okay. So if you can do that several times over, you'll be okay. But yeah, it throws throws the difficulty up really high super quickly, and I don't quite understand why. Because they could have easily given you the first 10 races of the game, you know, and make them a little bit more easy to deal with, you know? I don't understand the gigantic jump from, like, hey, your first 3, or, you know, your first championship race, you know, at the very beginning is going to be super easy, and then we're immediately going to throw you into Performance GT. It's going to be much harder, and then we're going to throw you into the normal race, and that's going to be even harder. I don't understand the design philosophy behind that. I understand the idea of making a game that is specifically for the hardcore. That's cool. I get that, but you know, even the hardcore have to start somewhere and get a feel for the game. And it's really hard for someone to get a feel for the game on a track that just, like, doesn't work. This Miami track is another one that works. I don't know what it is about the Boston and the Miami tracks, that, you know, just feels so much better than the Canadian track. That Canadian track is just not fun to play. And it's halting me from continuing the championship, unfortunately. And probably finishing more of the game. But the game starts out really, really strong.
Extra time.
But unfortunately for, you know, people like me who like racing games and would like a game to not only start strong, but to finish strong, that's probably not something you're going to get here. Oh my god. Yep, I was going to say 100% damage. I was trying not to ride the wall there, but I had no choice. But we at least made it to the end. And the winner is me, I guess? I don't know. So this one's also interesting too, because it says that the objective is to get first on those, but what it should really say is like you just need to finish it, right? I don't know. So you do unlock new customizations for finishing these again. So I guess at some point for the Canadian race, you're just gonna have to like keep piecing pieces together in the garage until you get a car that works. But for me, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. By the time you get to the 5th race, it's like it's that difficult. I don't know. To me, it's I don't know. It feels kind of bait and switchy to me. I don't know, and I don't like to be that hard on the game like that because, like I said, you could tell a lot of people behind this game put a lot of time into it, and it is cool. I love the look of it. I like the feel of it, but it's just like this track specifically is just ruining the game for me. So there's that. But yeah, as far as the objective goes here, it says you want to get objective first, but you're the only one on the track, so really it should be objective is finish it. If you can at least finish it, then you finish the objective. I don't know. That's just me. But that is the championship, at least. And let's see, we checked out Fast Race. We don't have anybody to play with for split screen. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so edge mode is just like adding in a bunch of different things here. So you got time attack, checkpoint attack, which is what we just played with the Performance GT. We have elimination, there's a free mode, and there's a tutorial. There is a tutorial in there in case you guys want to get in there and learn more about how this game actually works. But I think that's about it for Xenon Racer. Like I said, man, I really want to like this game. I really want to get back into it and just like, you know, I don't know, maybe I'll continue playing it. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video at some point and say like, oh, this is what I got wrong. Maybe this is all I had to try before. But there's just some strange design decisions with this game. Like, I really think that they could have had cups. You know, they could have had the bronze, silver, gold, platinum cup setup where, you know, you play through the bronze cup and it's all easier races to get you on board with how this all works. And, you know, then you could have jumped to the silver, and that's when they could have amped it up and introduced, you know, harder tracks and stuff like that. But to jump to only the 5th race and for it to jump up that hard, I don't know. That's a weird decision for me. Man, but like I said, I really want to like this game. It's unfortunate that this is the case for this one here. But there you go, guys. That is the quick save review for Xenon Racer. Not an awful game, just I feel like it needs some adjustments, and maybe they'll make these adjustments in the future. I don't know. But there you go, everybody. I'll see you all next time.
GRC.